Just a few weeks ago, there was panic in Phoenix. Why? The Phoenix tower had a fire alarm that went off and the tower had to be evacuated. It caused mayhem in the skies. Let's take a look.
Army 512, maintain your slowest practical airspace. Just be advised, there's a fire alarm going off at Phoenix Breakdown, so you can expect holding instructions at Stanfield, unless you wanted to eventually cancel IFR and proceed VFR, but you can expect no services into Phoenix approach.
Okay, this first guy sums the whole thing up. There's a fire alarm that's going off in the Phoenix Tower. We're going to have to put everybody into holding. You can expect further clearance. I don't know how long that's going to be. They don't even know how this is going to cascade and how it's going to play out. But this is in part due to a crumbling infrastructure of old archaic ways of communicating, i.e. on the radio, and then things break, or in this case, it could have been a kid that pulled a fire alarm or a disgruntled employee. Whatever it is, the tower has to be evacuated, and at that point, a new set of circumstances is going to take over for everybody that's flying in and trying to get out of Phoenix. Let's follow along.
2512, down to 100 knots. Oxford 6398, same for you. Low spectral airspeed until advised. The Phoenix breakdown. It's currently closed. So once you get to Stanfield, expect holding instructions, or you can cancel IFR once you get there.
454, speed, holding instructions at Stanfield, Oxford 6398.
Okay, you see, both of these last aircraft did the exact same thing. They weren't told to slow down, but honestly, once you get holding instructions, most airliners are going to slow down to their slowest practical speed so that it takes them longer to get to the holding pattern because they're just going to stay there. No reason to rush to get to a holding pattern. So now they don't know how long it's going to take. The pilots are looking at where is my alternate if I can't get into Phoenix and I got to go someplace else. Where's my bingo fuel? Bingo fuel means what's the lowest fuel I can get down to before I have to go someplace else. So they're calculating all of those things as they're on their way into the holding pattern. And this scenario is going to get repeated with every single aircraft individually that's coming into Phoenix. There needs to be a system in place where ATC can just basically send out a message to everybody all at once coming in what's going on in Phoenix, because this is a tedious operation to have to talk to every single aircraft, and then the clarifications back and forth. It gets to be a mess.
Not for 6398. I'm sorry, I have to go offline. I missed the response if you had any.
454, Steeeve, expecting hold at Stanfield, Oxford 6398.
6398, Roger, thank you.
Okay, so here's what's going on with this air traffic controller. He's having to radio everybody, tell them what's going on. He's also on another landline talking to people. It's like this. He needs 3 or 4 arms, right? So he's talking to other people about what's going on in Phoenix. He's trying to get the latest information. He doesn't even hear the airplane respond to him. Now he has to call them again to say, I didn't get your response. The guy has to repeat it again. It gets very, very tedious and very unnecessary.
Coach, I make the row pop 5,400 for 5,500.
787, requesting first maintenance V5, edible 4,500, unable Bravo transition, and we're going ATC Zero.
Okay, VFR edible 4,500, I'm going to turn around and start the thing.
Okay, so 2 things that I want to explain here. He says we're going ATC Zero, which means basically the area around Phoenix is going to be shut down for at least normal communications from ATC. And the other is you can't transit the Class B airspace. So Class B airspace looks like an upside down wedding cake, and it's defined on a chart. And you normally, when you transit through it as a civilian aircraft or a VFR aircraft that's not on a formalized flight plan, you have to ask for flight following and permission to transit through Class B airspace. But since the radios are down and the tower is evacuated, everybody's been cut off. So this guy basically says, I'm going to turn around and go the other way. That's his solution to it.
Number 7 Romeo Bravo, you got us. Let me know outside of Bravo airspace.
Just stay out of Bravo airspace. Roger.
Aircraft
due to possible fire emergency, Albuquerque Center will be consuming responsible radar services within North Phoenix Tracon's airspace.
Okay, so now you see how it cascades. So here's what happens. The last person you talk to is the Phoenix Tower before landing, but they've gone down. They're not communicating. So that Class B airspace now, which is a little bit bigger than just the airport, has nobody that's controlling it at this point. So now the next level is, in this case, Albuquerque Center. Albuquerque Center, along with maybe Albuquerque or Phoenix Approach Control, they're going to direct people on what to do. Now, what happens from a piloting perspective? Let's say you're already inside that Class B airspace, you're flying a commercial airliner, you got passengers in the back. Can you still land at Phoenix? Yes, you can. How do you do that? Well, there are controlled and uncontrolled airfields. Now, usually you know that well in advance before you ever land there. Some airfields don't have a working control tower. Do you fly passengers in there? Yep, all the time. So what happens is they have what's called a pilot common frequency, right? And that on that common frequency, you will clear yourself. You'll say, hey, it's me and my airliner. I'm 10 miles out for runway 22. I'm 5 miles out and I'm at 2,000 feet. I'm on short final for the runway. Any traffic, here I come, right? And so you're clearing out traffic and letting them know where you are. You touch down, you say, hey, we're rolling out, I'm taxiing to the hangar. Whatever you're doing, you communicate all that on that common frequency. When a control tower goes down, like Phoenix, here's what pilots are trained to do. They're going to use the tower frequency now, which is still operating. They're going to use that tower frequency as that common frequency, and guys are going to and gals are going to begin to clear themselves as they're already on their way in. If they're not all the way in, approach control and center are going to tell them, go into holding, hang on, we'll call you back in a little bit. So that's kind of what's happening right at the moment.
733 X. Just be advised, we do have a fire alarm going off at Phoenix Breakdown right now. So unless, if they do have to evacuate the building and go ATC Zero, you can expect me to terminate your services 12 o'clock in about 5 miles. So no services through the Bravo over Phoenix.
Okay, understood. We're planning on overflying the whole Bravo at 10,500. If that's going to be the case, do you think it's going to be more advisable to just head all the way outside the lateral boundary of it, or should 10.5 still be okay up there?
Number 733 X, yeah, I cannot give you a clearance through the Bravo, so you would have to remain clear of the Bravo, because I will have to terminate services, Reddit services. So unless, if they come back to me and they tell me that they are still there and working, I'm happy to let you talk to them and they'll clear you to the Bravo. But if they are evacuated,
talk about this guy in a minute.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Just keep us informed, and right now we'll plan on our route here. Would kind of overfly Sky Harbor 10,500 and let us know if any reason that we can't be doing that.
Okay, so this pilot is asking air traffic control to do something for him that air traffic control is not authorized to do. Class B airspace is up to 10,000 feet. Now, there are lateral limits to it, and so you can overfly Class B airspace, and you're completely legal to do that. You have not entered Class B airspace at 10,500 feet. You're above it. He says, well, should we go around it as well? And the guy goes, like, I can't tell you that. It's, as long as you stay out, I don't care what you do. Go over it, go around it, go over and around it if you want to. But this guy, he just wants that extra reassurance, but it clobbers so much radio time. And this guy, this air traffic controller, has so many other airplanes he needs to get to coming in and out of Phoenix now that the tower is shut down. It takes forever.
Southwest 2673, Eastern one.
Next one.
2673, say again. Southwest 2673, we tried calling your operations, but we can't get a hold of anybody. If you could pass the word, we've got the tower's going to evacuate. We got a fire alarm going off. Okay, yeah, we'll call our ops and let them know and tell them to pass the word. Appreciate it.
Okay, so he's communicating with airplanes on the ground.
Fire alarm going off. We're getting ready to evacuate, trying to get everybody on the ground. Albuquerque, good evening, Texas Flight 4183, 27-8, sending 240 slowest transfer.
That's here, Flight 4183, Albuquerque Center. Expect the holding instructions here in a few minutes.
Right.
Okay, another airplane that's going to go into holding. It's one after another after another. And I don't know if there actually was a real fire in the Phoenix Tower. I don't think there was. I think it was just an alarm that went off. And if you know if there was an actual fire, let me know in the comments. But imagine if there had been a real fire. This has gone on for quite some time, and they still haven't evacuated the tower. It takes a long time to clean up everything that you have to. And if you were in a real fire, man, you'd want to get out of there in a hurry. Look at all the airplanes.
All aircraft due to a fire alarm emergency at the Phoenix Approach Control Facility. Albuquerque Center will be assuming our responsibility for radar services within our Phoenix Raycon's airspace.
There's a lot of airplanes to talk to. Look at them all on the screen.
Steeeve, 9 Charlie Golf Heavy, turn right heading 230, intercept on localizer runway 26.
Right heading 230, step localizer runway 236, Steeeve, 9 Charlie Golf.
American 3046, contact tower 118.7.
18.7, American 3046.
Steeeve, 9 Charlie Golf Heavy, 3 miles from Jackal. Maintain 4,000 till established on localizer, clear ILS runway 26 approach.
Now, look at how nimble the system is. I love this. These air traffic controllers are just terrific. The Phoenix Tower and approach control apparently are down, and now Albuquerque Center is handling all the traffic that still has to go into Phoenix, right? They've got all these people that can't go into holding. They still got to be giving clearance to land. So what they're doing is they're setting them up on the approach, saying fly to this intersection, cleared for the approach, right? They can do that from outside of the Class B airspace. Once everybody knows that the tower is down and they're going into the Class B airspace and they've been cleared for the approach, that's when the pilots take over on that common frequency and clear themselves. So hopefully everybody gets the memo on this that says, hey, it's us. We're on a 5-mile final. We're on a 2-mile final. We're over the numbers. And they keep doing that stuff so that everybody else knows where they are. It's not the way the system is supposed to work, but it can work that way in an emergency.
Maintain 45 and 7 steps on the localizer. We'll go Steeeve, 9 Charlie Golf Heavy. Thank you.
Steeeve, 9 Charlie Golf Heavy, reduce speed to 160 or less, please, for sequencing. Contact tower 118.7.
Reducing speed 91187, Steeeve, 9 Charlie Golf Heavy.
That 1187 is going to be that common frequency that they all talk on now.
41, contact Albuquerque Center now, 128.45. I'll talk to you in a bit. 1541. Conventional aircraft, due to a fire emergency, Albuquerque Center is assuming responsibility for radar services within Phoenix Raycon's airspace. Instruct aircraft to contact, or question all aircraft on frequency contact Albuquerque Center 128.45.
Okay, so you say, why did he say that again? They told us that earlier. Well, here's the problem with radio communications. You have to repeat it over and over and over again for everybody to get it, and new aircraft coming in and airplanes going out. So you got a lot of redundancy and all this stuff, and it's unnecessary.
Tower Alaska 662. Should we try to call ramp or just hang out here where we're at?
Hang out where you're at.
Alaska 662, when you're ready to go, just use a CTAF frequency of 120.9er.
We'll do it.
Okay, what's the CTAF frequency? That's another one of those common frequencies that everybody would talk on. So use that common traffic area frequency, I think is what CTAF stands for. And clear yourself is what she's saying.
Conventional aircraft, due to a fire emergency, Albuquerque
Here
Center
it comes again.
will be assuming responsibility for radar services within Phoenix Raycon's airspace. If you need to attempt Albuquerque Center multiple frequencies, you can do 127.67 or 132.9er. Try those two first.
Okay, just giving them more options.
733 X-ray. Yeah, it looks like Phoenix Approach is ATC Zero, so you can expect to terminate services here in about 2 minutes.
Okay, understood. November 7th, X-ray. Just want to be clear, 10,500 over the Bravo is not going to present any particular issues for you.
733 X-ray. Once again, sir, that's not my airspace. You will be maintaining VFRs. You have to comply with whatever restrictions you have to go through Bravo. I do not know what those are.
Understood. 733 X-ray, just a second.
Okay, so after all this time, November 733 X-ray calls him one more time. He tries, give me that reassurance. Tell me what you want me to do. And the guy's going, look, I'm not flying your airplane for you. He gets kind of exasperated with him here. And he says, essentially, look, you know the rules. Stay out of the Class B airspace. You can go over it. You can go around it. You can go over it and around it. But I'm not going to give you any other instructions other than that. Adios, buddy. Okay? Really?
So 4990, then you'll taxi via Foxtrot 6, cross 25 right, Echo Tango, call the ramp, the American ramp, for your instructions. They will get you in there. We are evacuating.
All right, Foxtrot 6, cross 25 right, Echo Tango, Charlie, contact the ramp. Hope you guys are staying safe up there.
Speedbird 9 Charlie Golf Heavy. On Bravo, contact the ramp on 125.57, and they'll let you know when they can get you in. The tower is getting ready to evacuate.
Okay, we'll contact 125.57, Steeeve 9 Charlie Golf.
Okay, so to wrap all this up, they evacuate the tower here. Everybody is sort of on, no pun intended, autopilot, in the sense that they're now clearing themselves in and out of the Phoenix airport, which is not the way the system is supposed to work. You can see the complications of the system where having to do it archaically, the old way on the radio. You have to repeat the same message over and over and over again. And if somebody didn't hear it, they have to call back. And you have multiple people calling at the same time, stepping on one another. It's not the way it's supposed to be done. What's the problem here? Well, in this case, different than the Newark incident that we talked about recently, where infrastructure was kind of to blame, that in an ATC, air traffic controller shortage was an underlying factor. This one is just a fire alarm went off. Well, that's real life. Fire alarms go off and you have to follow the fire alarm and evacuate the building. What if that building is the control tower? What if that building is the approach control center where they're giving you the approach clearances to go to the tower? Or what if that building is the Albuquerque Center? Any of those things can go down if somebody pulls a fire alarm. So in this case, we don't know if it was pulled, if it was just an erroneous one, or if it was an actual real fire. The point is, everybody's got to get out of the tower, and they did. They did so safely. Everybody ends up landing in Phoenix safely, but man, it is a headache and a hassle whenever this happens. But we're trained for such incidents. We just hope they don't happen very much or as much as they've been happening recently. Well, now you know. I'm Captain Steeeve. Fly safe. Hey, don't go yet. Do me a favor. Like and subscribe to this video, and a super big shout out to our friends at Voss Aviation for creating the video that we reacted to today. Thanks, guys.